Yes.
Mark, will you give us a little update? The Property Vision team has been worked throughout the summer to figure out, well, what do we want to do? How do we want to proceed with parsonage? And you're going to give us a little update on this, okay?
Yeah, thanks. So hi, I'm Mark, and I was leading the Property Vision team for the summer. Have you guys ever seen this HGTV show, Lil Jon Wants to Do What? No? Okay, so this is this show where boring suburban people call and say, hey, we want to do something with our house, we don't know what to do. And so Lil Jon, the rapper, comes to their house and comes up with crazy ideas of what to do. And his signature line is, wouldn't it be cool if? So they just sit around and they brainstorm, wouldn't it be cool if? And then he flies off to islands or jets or whatever he does in the rest of his time. And this poor lady, his project manager, has to come in and figure out how to actually make it happen in these people's house. And of course, it always turns out amazing, but that was kind of our job, because we had the meeting 6 months ago where everybody was kind of like, well, what if we did this? Wouldn't it be cool if? Wouldn't it be cool if? And then we all got really excited, and then 9 of us got together and were like, okay, well, how do we actually do this? So let's get some slide up there. All right, cool. So we're talking about what to do with the parsonage building back there that we're renting out, and then we started talking about what about the rest of the property. So let's go to the next one. Just to quickly review, where are we here? Can we go to the second slide? Cool. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so just quickly, this is our property. Kirkland Place is that corner over there. Parsonage is up there. Each of those is about 1/3 of an acre. This other T-shaped thing with the forest and the playground and our church is about 1 2/3 acres. One and a third acre, something like that. All right, next. So we were talking about what do we do with this, and this group of 9 people got together to talk about it over the summer. There they are, kind of small, but if you see those friendly faces around after church and want to ask them more about it, definitely, we're all happy to talk about it and discuss. All right, so at the last time I shared, a couple months ago, we kind of came up with these 3 options that we were evaluating. Sell immediately, bank the money, to solve our financial situation, or help our financial situation a lot. Develop the parsonage land, partner with somebody who will do something with housing or something cool there that we care about, but sell it and let them do that thing. And then go big, develop the whole property into something amazing with housing and church for us and a coffee shop and a nonprofit spaces, whatever. And then we talked about maybe doing a split thing where we build back there and then build here, try to do it in 2 phases, that kind of thing. Those were the options we looked at. Next. And we got a lot of detail on them. We came up with a lot of information. We talked to lots of people. We brainstormed some more. We came up with thoughts and things. And then we discussed and we looked and we tried to understand and we came to, next slide. Yeah, those 2 aren't gonna work. Developers just weren't excited about 1/3 of an acre right there. That was not enough for them to do something really exciting with housing or something. It was like, it's just not great. The split option, anything's possible with money and time, but it's just not really viable to try to build there, especially parking-wise. Like if you want any parking for a church and apartments, you need a garage under this whole space. And trying to do it in 2 places, it would make it a 10-year plus plan. It would, A plus B would not equal the C of doing it all together. So that one we took off the table. And we really looked at, okay, what is option 1, option 3. And so option 1, just sell the parsonage, put it on the market, sell it to somebody. They'll probably build 3 townhomes and each of them will be $1.5 million. And we bank the money, our budget's good, but okay, done. That's an easy one. The other one, we came to the council and so I presented this at the council meeting at the beginning of this month to say, okay, option 3, what would this mean? What would this look like? And the big takeaway from our team as the Property Vision group of 9 people who have a lot of experience, a lot of great background in this, but we're volunteers, and on a volunteer basis, we are not that project manager who's gonna actually drive this forward to completion. We've put in 6 months of this. People are pretty much like, okay, that was my commitment. We did it, there we go. So how do we go forward from here? Well, next up, we would have to yeah, there's lots of stuff we'd have to do. Basically, we come up with a lot of stuff, and it's more than we could handle as a group. So next up, we would need to, if we want to keep going with this, keep the momentum rolling, we would need to hire a project manager, probably on a contract kind of basis. And there are people like that out there that could make that happen, but that would probably cost $20,000 to $120,000 to have somebody come for 6 months to a year to actually push this forward, just to the point of having options we could actually decide to move forward with. Right, so that'd be a big commitment, but it would get us to the next step of we actually maybe can start something now. Jason, next slide, please. There we go. So if we do this, if we want to keep this going, do it ASAP, we're going to need to commit some money to it. Now, quick note on the financial situation. It's gotten better since 6 months ago when we talked. We've got the preschool here now, that's contributing monthly. We've raised the rent on the parsonage a bit, that's also helping. So between those things, our runway is not as dire as it looked when we met last January. So the whole like, oh, we're gonna shut down in 2 years if we don't solve this immediately thing isn't really, we're looking at more like 3 to 5 years of runway at this point with our current income and rentals and things like that. So we have some time. And so we talked about maybe it makes sense to slow it down a bit and wait, but actively wait. Keep going for connections, keep talking to people, keep trying to understand what we can do. Pastor Ryan has offered to take the lead on that. They've already made some connections, there's some conversations happening. So maybe we back off a little bit and see what God's gonna do. Also, that kind of lets the rest of the neighborhood here grow and some of those plans solidify, become more obvious what's gonna happen as they build housing and retail down where Petco is and figure out what's gonna happen with the Lee Johnson ex-Google space, all that. Like, maybe let that take the lead, and then we'll see where we're going. So those were kind of the two options for the bill that we presented to the council and said, all right, there's our suggestions, there's what we've learned, now it's up to you. What do you want to do? So the council, go to the next slide. Next steps here, ask, plan, and vote. You've got questions. We've been thinking about this all summer and all spring and summer. You've got questions, you've got concerns, you've got stories, you've got history with churches that built and it was amazing and churches that tried to build and it didn't go well. We want to hear it. If you want to share, if you want to talk, if you want to ask, over the next couple of weeks, I didn't get it organized this week, but over the next couple of weeks, we'll have Property Vision people in the lobby at a table ready to talk, ready to listen, ready to take your feedback and your thoughts and help incorporate them into where we're going with this. Then the council is going to plan, they're going to work out what kind of vote should we have and what's the exact language of that vote so that going into a vote, everyone will know what we're doing. Because as a community, we vote on these things. We can't do anything with our property without the congregation approving it. So we want everyone to know exactly what we're voting on. And then the council's planning a mid-year meeting early next year to talk about other things, but also have this vote on the table at that time. So those are the next steps. That's where we're going with this. Thank you for your support and your time, and excited to see what kind of crazy things we come up with.
Hey, give Mark a hand.
Thank you.
Mark has been doing an incredible job leading this crew, and it was a big lift for him.
Yeah.
So he's done an incredible job.
If you do want to, also, if you want to know more context and backstory, we did put some videos on the website a couple months ago that are still relevant, and you can go check those out on the Salt House website.
Yep.
Super good, super good.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark.